Hello, and welcome everyone to the Tuesday World Meditation. My name is Rosa, and tonight you join me from my home in the south of England. This sacred time and space is devoted to our shared practice of entering stillness together and of giving together. Let us first surround and protect ourselves with the love and the grace of God. Before we begin the meditation, I'd like to share a passage from the new message about practice from the book, The Journey to a New Life. The revelation is called The Revolution, as revealed to Marshall V. and Summers on May the 24th, 2011, in Boulder, Colorado. The real purpose of spiritual practice is to bring you to the deeper mind, to connect your worldly mind to the deeper mind. For the deeper mind cannot serve your worldly mind, and your worldly mind must serve the deeper mind. It is only here that you find true integrity. It is only here that you are fully yourself. It is only here that you find your greatest strength, purpose, and destiny. It is only at this level that you can truly discern relationships and know who to be with and how to be with them, regardless of other attractions or inducements. There is no greater value or reward in the world, or in any world in the universe, than to reconnect with the deeper mind. This deeper mind calls to you. It has the attraction of the divine. It is where you connect with the divine. It is where God's will communicates to you, not in words, but in impulses, at a deeper level, beyond the realm of the five senses, beyond the realm of the intellect, beyond the realm of ideas and ideology. This is the great attraction. But people are afraid, and so they stay busy and occupied. They stay obsessed with things on the outside, pursuing a whole host of things, most of which can never be fulfilling, full of fear, full of ambition, full of grievance, full of fantasy. This is what dominates your worldly mind. Work here becomes not merely useful and important, but actually obsessive and distracting. For if you cannot be with yourself for 5 minutes, how can you be with anyone, really? How can you be with anything? How can you be creative? How can you be insightful? How can you be reflective and aware of your errors? People know they are weak and fallible, but they try to reinforce their beliefs as a show of strength, a great show of strength. The firm belief, the committed believer, is like a block of concrete, unresponsive, dead, immutable, resistant, disconnected, defensive, judgmental. This is the personal mind in a state of retreat and solidification. It is a prison without walls, but so fixed that nothing can move it. You are bound to things you cannot even see, bound by fear, the fear of being wrong, the fear of being lost, the fear of having made a mistake in your life and facing that, the fear of wasting your life and having to face that. What is pride but fear masquerading as something else? What is self-assurance but insecurity parading as something else. To begin to respond to your deeper nature, to the greater mind within you, begins a revolution where the existing and former powers are overthrown gradually, and even through periods of struggle, by something far more potent and real and meaningful. Ideologies are overthrown. Former associations are overthrown. Self-repudiation is overthrown. The gods of your former life are shown to be false and weak, and in time they are overthrown. Your religious principles prove to be too limited and cannot speak to the mystery of your life, and even they can be overthrown. Even things that were useful to you and brought you to the revolution, even they prove to be unnecessary now. You cannot rely upon them. People come to God's new revelation, or even to God's former revelations, seeking peace and comfort. But if they are really serious about their engagement, then it begins a kind of revolution, which is not very peaceful, not very comforting. All hell breaks loose on the road to heaven. The truth is within you, but you must pass through the mind to get there. And the mind is full of many things, things you are not even yet aware of, demons of your own creation, demons of other people's creations, all phantoms in the night. They appear so formidable. You are afraid to approach them, but they are mere phantoms. In the process of taking the steps to knowledge, you have wonderful moments of reprieve and recognition. And you have other times when you are really struggling because you have to choose something other than what you formerly believed in. You see the outcome of a relationship before you begin it, and you have to accept this. You begin to see the truth in things, and that conflicts with what you want from them. You start to see that your former goals are not really in keeping with your greater destiny. And so you must have the strength to set them aside. You feel called to go to certain places, and you must have the strength and the freedom to go to these places. You must break the chains of obligation to certain people and situations that are not part of your greater life. You must have the strength to do this. This strength, this freedom, this determination, this self-honesty all come from knowledge. For knowledge is free. Knowledge is honest. Knowledge is determined. Knowledge is powerful. It is so much in contrast to your worldly mind, which has none of these qualities in truth. It is weak, it is deluded, it is pathetic, it is groveling, it is self-condemning and condemning of others. It is weak, it is vengeful, it is obsessive. In reality, your worldly mind is meant to serve knowledge. Here, its greatest strengths and intelligence and capabilities become really utilized, and it is redeemed and given a greater purpose and integration into your life. But before this can happen, there must be a revolution, a spiritual revolution, a revolution against ideas and obligations, against fear, against guilt, against obsession, against grievances. A revolution to free you to find that which is calling to you and which has been waiting for you for so long. Please join me now in a 30-minute stillness practice. Take whatever time you need to read your own step and enter stillness when you are ready. Nasi Novare Koram. While we are in this place of stillness, I'd like to share a passage from the new message, speaking about the messenger. From the revelation, bringing the new message into the world, as revealed to Marshall V. and Summers on May the 21st, 2011, in Boulder, Colorado. The messenger is in the world. He is one man, a humble man, a man who was sent into the world for this purpose. He will receive the new message in his lifetime. It will be a very great message, for it is now speaking to a literate world where there is global communication. It will be more expansive and inclusive than any message that has ever been given before. It will include its own teachings and commentaries. It has taken him decades to receive it, for the message is very great. Like all great revelations, it must present the truth repeatedly in many different ways. It must present the reality of the future world you are now entering and the meaning of the greater community of life in many different ways. It will not be obscure or obtuse, whose meaning is left up to human interpretation. It will not be given in stories and anecdotes, which are easily misconstrued and misunderstood. It will not be described in pastoral terms. It will not be a teaching of the ancient world, but a teaching of a new world and the future world. People are living in the past. Their ideas are born of past assumptions and beliefs. As a result, they cannot see what is coming over the horizon. They cannot see the bigger picture of their lives. They only think it is a repetition of former cycles of experience. But you are entering a new world, a world unlike the past, a world of environmental change that has not been seen for 10,000 years. You are entering a world where growing numbers of people will be drinking from a slowly shrinking well. It is a time where humanity will have to choose again and again whether it will continue on its self-destructive path of competition, exploitation, and war, or whether it will unite for its own survival and to fulfill a greater destiny as it stands at the threshold of space. That is why the revelation is given now, and why it must be brought into the world. It has always been like this, you see. If this witnessing does not occur, then the message will either be lost entirely, or it will only be discovered at some later time. But it is meant for the world now, and for the days and the years to come. Its message cannot be lost. That is why it must be brought into the world as quickly as possible, and as many people as possible must have exposure to it and an opportunity to receive it, to respond, and to bring its grace and power into their life experience. It is entirely relevant to the world today, but it will be even more relevant in the world tomorrow and in the days to come. That is why the revelation is calling. Who will be its first respondents? Who will be amongst the first to receive it, to recognize it, and to realize they have a responsibility to share it with others? For the gift is not simply for one's edification. It is meant to pass through each person to others. It is too great for an individual to hold and to use for themselves alone, though many people will try to do this. It is too great for one person to claim it and not share it, for it will only come alive and reveal its greater potency and meaning if the person becomes a conduit for its expression. You cannot simply receive a gift of this magnitude and not reveal it to others, for it is in giving that your receiving is confirmed. And the meaning and the value of it for your life is realized. To keep it for yourself, it will merely become ideas and perspective, and its spiritual potency will not be realized. God wills that humanity prepare for the new world and for its emergence into a greater community of life. God wills that humanity begin to learn about spirituality at the level of knowledge, the deeper intelligence that God has given to the human family. This requires a re-evaluation of just about everything: work, relationships, health, self-expression, contribution in the world, service to others, fulfillment, self-realization, and the meaning of one's life and destiny. You cannot simply overlay this on a set of beliefs and assumptions, for God's new revelation is not bound by your beliefs and assumptions. You cannot simply try to match it up with what is currently acceptable and currently adhered to, for God's new revelation is not bound to these things and will challenge them and will stimulate them, for this is a new revelation. The gift must be passed to others because it is for the whole world. It is not a special gift for you or for any one person. To receive, you must give, and it is in the giving that the power of the new message becomes apparent. Its relevance to everything becomes apparent. To receive the gift, you must honor the messenger. He is not a god. He is not a Superman. Do not turn him into some kind of hero. Do not worship him, for worship is reserved for the Creator. But do not think he is like everyone else, for he is the messenger, and he is the only one in the world today, or tomorrow, or in the years to come, who can bring a new message from God into the world. Let us spend a few moments together to be with Marshall and send him our love and strength. Now see if there are others in the world or in your life who need to receive this strength as well. If so, spend a moment sending strength or another quality to these individuals. Nasi Nabari Karam. Thank you all for coming. Be well.